Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, welcome to our planning meeting for the Kubernetes Contributor Summit for North America, which will be taking place here in very soon. Like what, 6 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, um, you all have been so great so far, but just as a reminder, please continue being great to each other. We like you all. We want to have fun. Um, I'm going to post a link to the notes so that folks have them, and we will get started going through our agenda. The first thing, the lead updates, there was a question about um, pens from Amanda Katona.
Yeah, we're
Oh
good.
yeah.
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, it's just Kubernetes pins. It's not branded with VMware or anything like that.
Great. Sorted. All right. That was the only thing. There was the other thing that I brought up as well under the celebration about the request for the halal and the larger meal discussion. Someone tweeted about like vegan options and the environment and stuff like that. And so we can save that conversation for the celebration, but just wanted to point those things out now. We got some help for the social as well. Kendall volunteered and Xander volunteered to help out. So hopefully some communication has happened there with Natish. If it hasn't, then we will figure out what to do. All right, I'll pass it to Brienne. Good to see you, Brienne. Glad you're here. Hello.
Oh, I feel like I've been missing for like 2 months. I still wake up and I'm like, wait, where am I? All right. So celebration is my number one thing. It looks like everybody has chosen Revel Motor Row. So I am working with the venue to get our final contract, and then we will do the review and get that signed. So as soon as that is taken care of, I will let you know. I did have a question on activities. What activities are planned and whether we needed to include the AV or not.
Yeah.
The AV was an additional charge of like $2,500, I think. So if we don't need it, I don't want to include it. But if we do need it, I want to make sure it's included. So
I mean, traditionally we have had it there to play music, and then when we've done like the bingo to have like a mic for the announcer, you know.
Yeah. So
Nitish was at least asking about karaoke. Xander, did he talk to you about that at all?
I have not heard anything on the celebration. I am happy to help, like I said, but definitely reach out to me directly and let me know what's needed.
Yeah, let's loop everybody in because he was interested in karaoke. I'm not sure he necessarily understood the cautions that I put in the handbook around karaoke because we haven't had a lot of luck with it in the past.
Yeah, that's exactly like what I was gonna say is like it has largely not worked.
Okay. And among other things, we have lost our number one karaoke performer. So
if we did have karaoke, they usually come with their own AV setup and their own mics and everything. So
yeah.
Well, would the venue allow that? Do we have to get their PA?
Yeah, so that was another question. I actually just emailed the venue yesterday asking what their requirements are. If karaoke, I'm assuming it would be allowed, but you know what stipulations they have around that. So I'm waiting to hear back from them on that.
Yeah. So I'll okay, in that case, I'm gonna loop everybody in who's volunteered to help with the celebration, as well as Brienne, and get a decision on this.
Yeah. Okay. I also have many hesitancies around karaoke, but yeah.
I mean, the big issue is just, is there a plan to get people to perform? Because
and the actual space that it's in too, because like volume and terrible people saying
socializing
can be
Overwhelming.
detriment.
Yeah,
Yes.
Brienne, have you seen the Ravel Motor Row second floor space or whatever floor it is we're renting?
I have not seen it in person. I have seen the photos and virtual tour that they sent to me.
Okay.
I have walked by the venue, so I have seen where it is, and I do know it is a very quick, easy walk. But I haven't actually been inside.
Okay. Have you shared that virtual tour with Natish?
No, but I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, if you can share it with him and I'll start a thread and share it with all of us in the thread, and
Sure.
then we can kind of see what's reasonable.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, let's.
I
can. What I'll probably do then is just go ahead and contract without the AV for now, and then we can add that on once we have a final decision, and then go from there. But
yeah, but even if we don't have karaoke, wouldn't we want just like music playing or something like that?
They
Like,
will play house music, even without us doing AV. So
Okay.
that would be included
Cool.
regardless.
all right.
But I think, yeah, so if we do AV, it just includes, I think, use of their speakers, use of their mic, and like we can provide our own playlists and everything if we wanted to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good. I still would love to see us hire a live band, but like
Yeah.
I think that would be a lot of fun. I can tell you that is not in the budget this year. But I will keep that in mind for future years.
If you know somebody who's willing to perform for, free.
I wouldn't ask a musician to perform for free. I would probably work something.
I was thinking somebody in the community actually. Because that's the only way we would get
For
somebody to
exposure,
play
Right.
for free.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
They'd have to be Kubernetes people already.
Nah, like I do have like some community in Chicago, and maybe could work out like a barter system or something like that. But like, yeah, I wouldn't ask anybody to perform for free.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll see for the next place
Okay.
if we can do it.
Paris.
Paris. Oh yeah, that next place. I don't know anybody in Paris.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, slight update, I guess, on Paris as well. I was just there. The convention center is a great space for KubeCon. I don't know that it's going to work out for KCS to be included within the space that we have. So I did go out and actually do some off-site visits to several of the different hotels that have really nice event space. And so I am waiting to get some proposals back from them.
So
I think it will work out in our benefit if we do go that route. I think just to give us kind of more space to spread out, kind of our own private space.
And will this be like one of the hotels that like have the rate negotiated? Will we have like the community there? Okay.
It will definitely be one of the hotels that we will have one of our group rates.
Okay.
So people will be staying at. I chose 3 different ones that I really liked the space and the layouts and the rooms. I did a full tour. I went to 17 different places in all of Paris. So.
Oh wow,
that's commitment. We appreciate your dedication.
I mean, it was a great way to do a Paris tour.
Yeah,
that's one way to do it.
So if anybody needs hotel recommendations, I probably have you covered. But yeah, so I'm just waiting to get those proposals back. I have asked them, we are again doing the Tuesday co-located events, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday main event. So I have asked them to provide options for Monday and Tuesday. So then we can decide if we want to do Monday and just have KCS on the Monday before, or if we want to do Tuesday, the same day as the co-located events. Only issue would be the co-located events will be happening at the convention center.
So does that mean the dates of KubeCon are changing? Because like they moved forward to be Monday to Thursday.
So this one, the North America is Monday through Thursday. Paris is going to be Tuesday through Friday. Yeah.
Like
if it's budgetarily right, if it's budgetarily possible, my vote would be to have the KCS on Monday.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because this year I think we're going to lose a lot of people to conflicts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be the same day as rejects and like what draw rejects will have versus.
So
I
the
thought
Paris
rejects is
date-
always Saturday, Sunday.
The week after.
No,
No, it's
the week
before.
before.
The week before.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
the weekend before. Yeah.
So the Paris dates would be if we did KCS on Monday, it would be Monday, March 18th. Then co-located events day will be Tuesday, March 19th. Main KubeCon will be starting Wednesday, March 20th through Friday, the 22nd. So those are the dates we currently have contracted and are set up. I also agree. I thought Monday would probably be the best date for KCS. That would give us our whole day. And then that would give people the option to attend co-located events on Tuesday if they want to. But we'll see what the hotels come back with, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I just wanted to let everybody know that that is kind of where we're headed and what we will be discussing once I get the proposals back. So.
One other minor consideration, St. Patty's is on Sunday, so just bear that in mind for planning for people to show up early on Monday morning. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, let's just have a St. Patty's party. Come on. Another update. This is a personal life update. I will actually not be in Paris. I am expecting my second child.
Oh, dope.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I am actually due on March 9th. So
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So I'm going to probably be working with Deb since she's very familiar with the group and seeing if she will actually kind of be on site to help facilitate everything. I will still be doing all of the planning leading up. I will still be doing all of the meetings. I'm just going to make sure that you are well covered on site. So
Right.
There are Kubernetes onesies.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Yeah.
any contributor, like any, anything like that has a newborn, we send one their way.
Well, perfect. You will look very good in it.
Welcoming free contributors.
Yes.
Right.
Gotta hook them early.
Exactly. Starting them young.
Hey,
That's
Max
amazing.
and all of his nephews know about Kubernetes. I'm just saying.
All right. So that's my Paris update. Sorry, that went off
That's
on a
awesome.
tangent, but
No, it's all
No,
good.
that's so good. Awesome.
yes. So next, attendee tees, I have ordered those. I've ordered a quantity of 250. We do have the option to add more if needed.
Okay.
But for now, that's where we're at. And we did the maroon. So those have been ordered and are taken care of. Venue floor plans. I am working on finalizing the floor plans with the Hyatt, and I will share them hopefully next week once we have those all done. And next thing for me is the awards, just making sure we get the final artwork and the list of attendees or addresses and recipients if we are mailing them. I want to make sure I have enough time to get those ordered and delivered. Hopefully the correct ones this time. I know in Detroit, they sent us a bunch of random constellation pictures, but hopefully we won't have that problem this time. So that's it for me today.
Awesome. When do we need to decide about adding more shirts?
So I'm watching our registration numbers right now. I think 250 is a very safe number. But if we do need to add more, I will probably be able to do that about 3 weeks before the event because they'll have the artwork and everything all set up and designed. It's just going to be like a reprint at that point.
Yeah, the main thing was just that there will be people who are at the conference who are not attending the summit who will still get a t-shirt as a maintainer. So just making sure that we have some room in there for that is the only concern.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep watching the numbers. And as we get closer, if we need to add more, we can do that.
Honestly, like I would have them register for the summit anyway and just say they're not going to be attending the social, or like write a note about it. Just so we have sizes.
Yes.
Because like that's the especially if they're on one side of the either like outside of the chunk of like medium, large, extra large, those go quick.
Yeah. yeah, the sooner we can find out, especially like he mentioned, sizes that are kind of the outside the typical range, then the better off we'll be.
Sure.
All right. Anybody have any other questions right now? I mean, otherwise I'm obviously going to still be here, but
I have a tangential question. We didn't talk about signage, but I know that it's coming up.
yes.
Last year we did the QR codes. Do we want to do the QR codes on the formal signage, or do we want to do them separately?
So we could include it on the signage. However, I do think it was actually easier to do them as stickers and then add them to the signage.
Okay.
Just as since I'm, I set the signage up, I do think it'd probably be better to do it that way, just because when Freeman delivers the signs, I can't guarantee they're going to put the right signs in the right place. So if I have the stickers, I can put them on and make sure they're on the right signs.
Perfect. Thanks.
Honestly, too, the sticker out, you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So like just a blank spot where something can be slapped on there.
Yeah, I mean, in the stickers, I think they were like $5 to do them. So they're incredibly inexpensive and I can get them within a few days. So it's very easy.
Awesome.
Sorry, my little guy just got home from daycare. He's trying to join the meeting. He wants to learn about Kubernetes too.
Nice. Okay. Well, let's pass it over to Kaylin.
Hey. I put together a loose schedule last week. It's shared in the notes to be reviewed. If people don't make comments or suggestions, probably by Wednesday, I have a pretty big work week. So Wednesday, I will put everything in Sessionize. It's a little heavier skewed towards scheduled talks than unconference, but I think that's okay. There's still lots of spots for unconference. There's one room that's unconference the whole time after lunch, which is nice. Or 2 rooms that are unconference.
I'm not finding the draft schedule at that.
Scroll down.
Oh.
I shared it in the chat as well. Yeah, and yeah. So if you have any comments or concerns, the talks are in a separate spreadsheet that I will share in a second. If you want to review the actual content, but I looked at it, Noah looked at it, a few other people looked at it, and the talks seem pretty good. My next questions are, how do we go about sending the acceptance emails, and do we have passes for speakers this year? I know last year there were a few passes available. I think we have like more than 20 speakers, so I don't know.
Wait.
Brianne, if you know.
Passes for the whole conference?
I think there were last year a couple left. I remember it was sold out, and there was like, I don't know, maybe I'm remembering wrong. Brianne.
Yeah, so what we did last year, because the conference was sold out, I had set, I believe, 20 passes aside, just so that they were able to still register. But they weren't, since we're not in a sellout situation right now, we don't need to do that. If we get to the point where we will be, then I will again make sure I set aside enough passes so that they can still register.
Sweet. Okay, so just the emails then are.
Yep.
I don't know how we've done that in the past.
But
I don't know if I coordinate with content.
As a general FYI for policy for contributors that need passes or need support to go to KubeCon, it's usually like we tell them to go through the maintainer scholarship.
Okay, sweet.
That is closed at this point though.
Oh no, is it really already?
Yeah, all the scholarships are.
Wow, dang.
And
okay.
It is unfortunate that the scholarships tend to close well before people find out about whether or not they have travel budget and plans, but that's life. That's what happens.
Gotta plan, for those people that are attending, that are getting the scholarships.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So what do you need right now, Kaylin, about figuring out sending the notices or the schedule or whatever you need? Feedback? You need, what's your ask?
Basically, if you want to give feedback, you have until Wednesday. I have received enough feedback that I'm comfortable shipping the schedule, but if you want to provide feedback, you have until Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then secondly, if content can coordinate with me for sending out emails to all of the speakers that have been accepted.
Awesome. Awesome.
So related to the schedule, last time, at least in Europe, it ended up being sort of a last minute drag out thing where we got the unconference schedule up
Oh
like
yeah.
a minute before the unconferences were starting. Do we want to put some sort of formal unconference voting party on the schedule somewhere before lunch so that we can be a little bit more prepared this time?
Yeah, I mean, is there a break slot? The 10:15 to 10:30? Are you saying that's too close to the unconference time?
No, last time we ended up doing it during lunch.
What if we like announced to everyone at the end of the main stage and then closed it at the end of the break, and then I can spend the first session after the break putting together the unconference schedule? Does that work, or do we want to do it before, earlier than that?
No, I think that sounds really good. I wonder if folks will, because of the transient nature, I think, of folks who are going to be there and maybe go into all the other colos. I'm worried that we won't get a lot of feedback in that first loop. So I'm wondering if there's a way that we can like do like synchronous at first and then asynchronous voting, and then work on the schedule after that, or we just go with who was there at that time, you know.
So one way to do it would be to like, if the sessions are already submitted to GitHub, then have people basically emoji react on that as a
Yeah.
+1.
Yeah.
And then when you get the physical versions up, it's just like, okay, here's the here's the counter for us ahead of time.
Yeah, that's
So-
essentially what I did for Valencia. Was like we got all the votes in the issue, and then like they just had a head start when we taped everything to the window and then put stickies from there and then made the schedule after that.
So
And
just
some
as
people
a,
still, oh sorry, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, so as a thought, so the way that we do open spaces here in Austin for DevOps days, we have those big post-it notes stickies. We have one for each room, and then people put the stickies on there from there, and that's the schedule. We don't go through really posting it anywhere. You just then take the sticky note off of the pad and you literally post it on the door of the room. Now, if the rooms are all spread out, it doesn't work as well, but if not, it's really easy because then people can just walk by, go, oh, I want to be in this one, and walk in. So maybe that might be a low tech way of doing this that doesn't then require us to do a ton of work getting that schedule working. Does that make sense? Like I can show how it's done, but we don't do dot voting. We don't do stuff like that generally.
So it's just kind of first come, first serve for what session goes in what slot.
Yeah, basically. And then if you notice that a session, like as you're going through, like compiling the schedule, since all the sticky notes are next to each other, if somebody has two that are really similar, you just move a sticky note and you post it together. And then you can take pictures of it and post it up in the Slack channel or something like that with notes for anybody who can't read for any reason. You know, you can just post it up with like basically alt text. But that's
Yeah.
kind of how we always did it.
I
I know it's a low tech version. I know it's kind of harder to manage in
No,
terms
it's
of
not so
everybody's so
much.
used to GitHub, but
Yeah, it's not so much the low techiness of it, but just like getting buy-in from the folks who are there. If it's just anybody could just post and their session goes straight through without like sort of consensus, I wonder if folks might feel like either left out or not have like buy-in for the session because, you know.
yeah, I mean, you could do dot voting as well on top of that. It's just
Yeah.
if it might make things easier than having a GitHub issue that you need to make sure people actually go to and vote on. And
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think the GitHub issue, or at least for Valencia, the GitHub issue was just for ahead of time, and then like on the day the sticky notes happened. And then there is value as well because like we were putting them in the schedule to keep track, and so people knew what sessions were happening. And I don't know if we're still doing schedule for Contributor Summit, but it is like nice for people to have something to show that like, oh, I was here, I talked about this thing, like blah blah blah.
Don't we have?
I think we're doing sessionize, and I know at the last one we did just the GitHub votes and then put the schedule together like flying by the seat of our pants. Maybe we could do a mix where, like you said, we could like have the ones that have the most votes at the very beginning. When we get on stage, we can tell everyone to quickly look at the GitHub issue, get ready, and then at the end of our time on stage for the general sessions, we can do like a live poll, so people don't have to get up and do stuff. But allegedly, or not allegedly, potentially, we have the highest population density in the room for general sessions, maybe, and then they can do like an online vote, room by room. It could be a combo wombo, and then it will end up still in sessionize. So I will put it there after.
Okay.
Oh, why are we using sessionize?
I think it's sessionize that I got added to, is it? I don't know. Whatever we're doing for the schedule, I
thought it was
sketched. It should be sketched.
Maybe it's sketched.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
It's sketched.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, that's like, why are we going for like proposal review software for instead of?
Oh, that's my bad. Sorry, confusing.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Kaylin, do you have a shadow who's specifically managing the unconference, or are you handling it all?
My shadows are high enthusiasm, low delivery. So far I'm doing most stuff. We're going to try and coordinate a little bit better for the next stuff that we're doing. But I'm taking ownership for everything and then delegating when people are available as much as possible. But so far that has been pretty minimal.
So I do have one more suggestion in terms of like trying to do live online voting. Hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like I still think that, like GitHub for leading up to the event, and then dots or whatever at the event, because I'm just having
okay, so what if I do like poster board based on the votes before the event, and then at the session we announce that they're going to be outside in the main room, and then I will put the schedule together at lunch, but at the start, kind of like halfway through lunch, the schedule will be done. Like, does that work? And then they're just there in the same spot as people walk around.
Yeah, I think
stickers or something.
And then one thing from Valencia as well, like some people didn't put sessions necessarily in GitHub. There are people who on the day put
so I'll have extras
to say, and then some of those actually won out ahead of some of the ones that have been on GitHub for weeks. So
yeah, that makes sense. And then we can use Laura's idea as well. So we don't need the signs for the rooms. We can take the voting signs, put them on the doors, and then go low tech and high tech, and that'll be everyone's included.
Yep.
We also probably want to be able to parade the schedule through the lunch area. So getting it done earlier rather than later is also going to be a positive.
We'll get some polls to put them on picket signs.
This particularly bit me when the schedule was announced, very, very shortly, like within minutes of the sessions happening. And then I had like 2 people in my session. And nobody wants that.
Right. Okay. Great. Well, we have a plan going forward. Let's rock with that. Avanesh, you said you don't have any updates for us. Anything you want to say to the class?
Yeah, I don't have updates for now. But yeah, if there's any help you need from comms, do let me know.
Sounds good. When's the
Avanesh, do you want to write the acceptance email and I give you names, or do you want me to write the acceptance email and also give you names to distribute? How would you like to do that?
So how does it go? It goes from the summit email, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll drop the mail and just get me the names and we'll be good to go.
So the
Awesome, will do.
downside is that we're not able to like BCC or anything with the summit team email. So it'll show up in our summit team group, all the messages that get sent out, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing until there's like back and forth about specifics about people not being able to attend or some details that people might include. So that's like one thing to think about.
The one thing, at least with the summit team in the loop on those communications, is more than one person knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Of course. Okay. So yeah, we can definitely do it. That's just like the only thing. But yeah, it'll be individual emails that go out to each of the people, and then like they can accept or not. And then do you have any in the wings, Kaylin? Any that didn't make it through the first cut, or like alternates in case people like pull out?
No, they were all really good. So if people pull out, then we'll just have more on conference space.
Sounds good. All right. So yeah, y'all can collaborate on that, getting those mails out. And Nitish isn't here. They had an appointment over the slot. So I wanted to bring the meal conversation under the celebration, and maybe there's Brian can help with this as well. There've just been some requests coming in about like number one, making sure that there was at least a halal meal available at the celebration, and number two, people requesting a person requesting that like meatless be the default sort of thing that we're going for. So just wanted to open up that discussion here. Brian, do you have any thoughts before we start that discussion?
Yeah, so we have lots of vegetarian options and several vegan options planned for the celebration. There will be some meat included also, but for the most part, the majority is vegan and vegetarian. So that won't be a problem. The issue is more of the halal. The celebration, well, any like offsite venues have a harder time guaranteeing halal. Even for our larger KubeCon, we end up having to specially order them in because even the in-house catering doesn't do halal. So it's more of a process, but I have done the request to the larger venues for halal meals. So we will definitely have those for, during the main KCS event, the main KubeCon events. I am working with the celebration venue to see if there is a possibility to do something that would be halal, but if not, there are vegan and vegetarian options.
So. Okay.
So would a vegan option not be halal?
I think it would.
It probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most vegetarian and vegan options generally fall under halal.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on what level of strictness they follow.
Yeah.
I think just like kashrut, it depends on preparation as well as content.
Yeah. No, it's just when I used to keep kosher, I just ate a lot of vegan meals.
Right. And as you know, that works for you, and that probably doesn't work for my black hat nephew.
Yeah. Oh, Laura's asking if food will be labeled with allergens.
Yes. So we always follow the same meal, allergen controls as KubeCon does. So everything will be nutless. There will be no nuts in anything. And then yes, everything will be labeled. It'll say, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, whatever. So I have already talked with them. They know that needs to happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. So I wonder then if we want to set up communication, Brienne, with you and the requester about whether they're okay with like the veg vegan options, or if they want like a specifically halal meal. Or
they're already talking to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, dope,
It's
dope,
a
dope, dope, dope.
bonus
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, I've been in contact with him. And anything that does come through, I automatically add that to our larger KubeCon meal requests as well, because we
Perfect.
have another person that's working on all food and beverage for the larger event. So I want to make sure she gets those requests also.
Awesome. Amazing. So yeah, you all are very well on top of it. Ignore that I brought it up. Ops, Natalie said they couldn't make it today either. I know there was questions about the size of the room for the doc sprint. I don't know if there are any updates on that.
Sounds like no.
Sounds like no, Fran.
We could bump the doc sprint into one of the bigger rooms for the afternoon and put an unconference in a 10-person room, the lowest voted ones, if that helps. Like we can play it by ear depending on how many people show up.
Okay. All right. Cool. Updates for Reg Mars.
Yes, we've got 126 registrations already, and 15 of them are staff. So things are looking good. Yay.
Awesome. Do we have any regulars to this meeting that are missing from staff that we need to prod to register as staff? Because 15 sounds like low to me personally.
We have time still. I'll
Okay.
On the Slack.
I know.
All
I
right.
forgot. Yeah, staff code in when I registered.
It's probably worthwhile for one of us to just manually go through the list and check off the names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I'm obviously volunteering to do that.
Dope. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Mars. All right, Laura, you're up.
Yeah. All right. So the issue is open for MKCC as of this morning US time. I am still trying to find the event on the official schedule on the KubeCon website. I'm not sure. Did maybe when it got renamed, it disappeared, unless my search foo is failing me. So I wanted to link that into the event. Also, it makes me realize I wonder if the timing is correct because I'm going off of the spreadsheet. There is a tag contributor meet and greet. So did maybe it get a little bit confused at the same time?
Yeah, let me check on that. It was on there as SIG meet and greet. When I asked them to rename it, it's possible something got switched. So
that's kind of what I was wondering.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was wondering. Awesome, thank you. And then we updated the button counts, but not the table signs because we didn't know if they all had table signs or what counts you needed for those brands. So, but those are the main updates from MKCC. I'm going to start herding all three of us in finding all of the leads and telling them they need to show up.
Perfect. Thank you.
Question.
Oh, go ahead.
Answer.
I was out. What's the name?
Meet the Kubernetes Contributor Community, or MKCC, also known among this group as Mortal Kombat Community College.
Cool.
So I'm still working on seeing if I can get some really awesome, hilarious stickers just for entertainment purposes.
Dope. All right. So you need the table signs right now from CNCF to know the count there. Is that that's missing? Okay.
Yeah, in case there's any that we need to help with for that. I know the buttons was the big thing, but if you need help with the table signs, let us know. And then there's just the event from the official schedule to put into the issue so that we're sure people can save it, like it, subscribe.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Perfect. Awards, Joseph.
Hey everybody. So we have I thought I linked it, but maybe I didn't. But we sent out the nomination form instead of like last time. We basically did the analog, sending messages in Slack. I think Ray, after all the corralling last year, found it was easier. We just captured it there. And as well as like get the information we need after, like Slack handles or ways to contact the person who's going to get the award, so we can kind of optimize that tracking down of the individuals. I put a closing date of October 2nd. I know some of you are in some of the messages that I sent out, and I've already received responses. There's a few, I'm just kind of doing some follow-up information on who previously won. But so far, like when I sent it out late last week, I think I've gotten back from the SIGs, probably about like 65% of them responding back. So the plan of action is today doing some follow-up, do some additional follow-up on Wednesday, and we'll tactically go through. Hopefully we get nominations from all the SIGs, but like last year, there were some that did not participate. Any questions on that part of the process?
If you have more like groups that have not submitted anyone when your next call goes out, let me know which SIGs.
Okay, I could probably.
That sounds threatening. Let me know which SIGs to not answer.
There's all sorts of stuff that can just like, things are going crazy internally, and so I know enough people where I can usually route and get an actual act from people.
Yeah. What I'll do, Bob, is I'll probably come in like Wednesday is going to be like my real checkpoint of like, come on, let's let me shake the tree so I could use your help.
Yeah. All right. So now you have an enforcer in case you're unable to get some responses.
Smile, yes.
All right, awesome.
And then as far as like the graphic, I know, Bran, you're waiting for that. I think we're close. I did have one suggestion that I was just kind of trying to look at, like what the bottom line was going to look like for me when we actually spell something out, just to kind of see what it would look like. And then I think Kazan was kind of like looking for suggestions underneath the chopped pizza carry boxes. She thinks it looks a little awkward with the KCSNA 2023 underneath it. Any thoughts on that?
Wait, where do we have the new design?
Yeah. Oh, it's in the meeting notes.
Okay.
It's in last week's.
Last week's.
Sorry, last week's.
Wait, so has there been changes to the design since last week? Oh no, I was out last week. Out last week. Never mind.
Yeah, that was the changes here. Josh, I guess she did mention that she talked to you when you guys were up at the WasmCon.
Yeah, and I referred her the feedback that we had from 2 weeks ago. Yes. So the okay, so we're losing the cutter entirely.
It seemed like it provided it kind of cluttered up the wording up top.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was hoping that we could fit it in somehow, just because the slogan there is chop pizza carry boxes, and if you lose the cutter, you kind of lose chop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't figure out where to put it either. So
okay. I mean, if anybody has some thoughts, we could probably do a last call on this one, but I kind of feel like the timeline, we probably need to kind of lock this in.
Definitely. And I think let's sort out the text issue, but like major graphical changes at this point, I feel like we should probably just like picture lock it, and figure out the text stuff.
I mean, I
think it's fine.
I'm trying to just figure out how much words can I fit down below, so when I go on,
right,
that's all I care about.
Citation.
Only suggestion for the chop is if you want the blade, since she was doing the big blade, it could be centered in the top as the background for the title text. That's not changing in like a lighter. So you could have like but I don't know if people would know if they're familiar with that pizza knife. So I don't know if it's worth making a change.
Okay.
Given that you have a lifted slice, would it make sense to have a lifter instead of a blade?
Maybe. But
so what I'll do is I'll synthesize what everybody's saying here. I'm gonna do a last sync with Caslin on this, just because she's been so generous to give her time to help with this. And if there's something here that we could try to experiment quickly, then we will. But if not, then we will probably go with this.
Sounds good. Okay. Which brings us to swag. Yeah, so I was looking at these aprons and put 3 designs here, 3 styles. I've broken them up. There's like the denim. If y'all are feeling denim, I know we're not in Canada, but we're close to it. And then there's the crossback regular lightweight, and then they have like a waterproof one as well. And then there's like the regular like neck one that isn't crossback. So Josh is saying that people have trouble figuring out crossback options. Is there a tie option? Yeah.
That would be the regular. I've just having taught some pottery classes, I've learned not to hand a crossback apron to somebody who's not used to wearing them.
Yeah. I feel you. I just have a strong preference for those, but if I'm outvoted, that is totally cool.
If you know how to put them on, they're more comfortable to wear long term.
Okay, I'm gonna add an unconference session before the panels.
There we go.
Aprons on.
Yeah.
Kaylin says they'll stand at the swag table. Perfect.
Right. Yeah. There we go. If we're gonna go with a cutter design, though, I don't know how we would do that on the denim.
It's embroidery. So this provider here is like add custom embroidery. It's $9 per. Okay. The denim ones are by far the like more expensive option. So we have to figure out exactly how many we're getting.
Oof. Yeah.
You're right. So I like look at the prices as well while you're making your decisions.
Yeah, they're all
so $10 more per.
$10 from what? From the lightweight, it's like
lightweight. Yeah, lightweight is 45.
And the denim
crossback is 48. Denim is
57. 73.50.
73.50. I see 56.
Oh, then maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, I'm looking at the crossback denim one.
No, I still see 56.
Oh. Sorry.
You added
the embroidery. Sorry, the $9 embroidery.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but that's only text. That's not pictures. Okay. That's
I mean, I would say we also want, if we can get feedback from them on the embroidery design as soon as possible. Having done embroidery for swag before, I'm a little concerned about being able to render that design in embroidery.
I'm tripping because like they only do embroidery of letters. They'll put like names on there, not like logos and stuff. Okay. So I need to figure out how we get the stuff on there. And Brian is asking if we checked out for imprint. I think I did. I just didn't love the aprons that they had on there. They were like, let me look again.
Yeah, I've never shopped for aprons. I just know I ordered quite a bit of stuff through them for different promotional items. But
they were just kind of a lot cheaper, like lower quality. Yeah, is my only thing with those. Sorry, go ahead.
Also,
does Drew have any?
Drew?
Pinnacle. This is the person that supplies all the swag for the CNCF. Well, the LF.
Oh. Pinnacle swag.
They probably do, but I'm guessing at this point their lead time is pretty long because they do all of the swag for us. So we might be better off going with a different vendor.
Okay.
Just given the timing.
Yeah, and it may be something as well that I just like what Noah did last time, just handle the embroidery separately, just find an embroiderer to do it with the logo because they'll only do the text. And just like separate these two operations. Oh, or get patches and iron them on. Yeah. Iron on patches is a great idea.
We have, that's what the current patches, well, they have a sticky back, but like I do believe they work as iron on.
Yeah, so smart. Yeah, we could do that too. Just order those and then get the patches, and then maybe we have a few extra patches left over if y'all want to customize your bags or something. But yeah, as far as quality goes, like these are the middle of the road option. Like they're not the super nice ones, and they're not the run of the mill ones at like the for imprint. They do have some like decent-ish ones there, but these ones are pretty good. And if we're like all in on the denim, or if folks want to look at some of the other some of the other ones. Bring a sewing kit and teach people how to put it on. Dope.
Hey, I was just about to write down, if I'm driving, like if we're really going to do the road trip version, which we still have to talk about, I will bring the entire kit, including the sewing machine and everything.
Perfect.
And we will have a grand old time.
I mean, does your machine do embroidery though?
No, but I can teach
Mine
people
does.
how to do it by hand. I'm more thinking in terms of sewing patches on.
Sure,
But yeah,
sure.
Kaylin, like if you wanted to bring your like major kit, we can have like lots of fun embroidering people's names on it. Anyway,
Fly with my Bernina just strapped to my chest.
do it.
It's the most important carry-on item.
So with the denim, what are y'all liking? The dark, the medium, or the indigo? Oh, bye Chris, thanks. Do we have a vote there? I can put it up for vote.
So I was looking at something else.
Indigo versus which one?
And there's like a dark, medium, and light indigo.
Oh. I see what you meant.
I would
Depends on what we're putting on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
that's super fair.
Well, there's another thing is that I'm assuming none of these are pre-washed. Or is this going to transfer color onto things?
Great question. Let's scroll down and see what.
Well,
they
because
say.
I mean, like I know like the darker denim will transfer color.
Yeah,
Lighter denim generally doesn't. So that's just something to keep
Yeah.
in mind is that if you're gonna like let people wear it right away, unless we get it to people early so they can wash it
Yeah.
at home.
I mean, if it all comes to me, then I'll wash it and hang it to dry.
I'll help you. You should not do that by yourself.
I'm very happy to do that.
What size were you seeing the patch?
Yeah, that's a good question as well.
Unless it's smaller than the chest pocket.
I
assume it is, because
Yeah, that chest pocket is pretty big.
I was gonna say, because otherwise you run into trouble with pockets.
Yeah. I kind of like the light indigo, honestly. Or is that the medium?
The medium? The
The
light is
medium.
very light.
Let me refresh. I think my image is not updating correctly. Medium indigo. Yeah, the light is very light, but the contrast is sick. And then we can get the darker like logo and stuff on it. But yeah. So essentially what I need to do is make a spreadsheet and then get everybody's like apron size because it comes in a few different sizes. And then figure out figure out what we're going to do from there. There's also an option on these to remove the big pocket if we just wanted to have it flat there and no pocket and just have the pockets down on the bottom. So those are options for us as well. But yeah, we are at time. So is there anything else real quick before we head out? Thank you for discussing aprons at length with me. As always, I'm really grateful that y'all are the team that we have this time. I hope y'all have a great week. More conversation to come in the chat, in the channel. And I'll see you all next time. Take care, y'all.
Later.
Bye.